That's not right. Wait a second. There we go. Alright guys, I'm on early. I'm running late. The cameras are all screwed up. I'm not even checking Facebook. Good morning, Barbara. How are you? I need to get to today's Sunday. Good morning, Tony Middleton Steele. How are you? I need to get to... Today's the 3-card Sunday for the week. So I'm going to move through this rather quickly. Hey, Kelly. Good morning. I hope everything's good in Vallarta. But I'm going to move through this quickly because I need to get to church. Church starts at 10 a.m., which is in half an hour. And I tend to be long-winded, as we all know. So, good morning, Rose. So I'm going to start with the 3 deep breaths right out of the gate, guys. I can't... I gotta move quickly this morning. So if you want to close your eyes and join me, imagine positive energy coming in through your nose, all the way down deep into your belly. Allow it to spread out through your body and your aura. And as you exhale, imagine negative or older energy, outdated energy, somebody else's information, whatever it is that you need to release, allow that to release with the out breath. I know it's hotter than hell there. There was also, somebody drove, oh, I can't get to talking about this, but I just saw on Facebook that somebody drove off a 200 right over the planter right in front of my building, like down in the cul-de-sac that I live on. So, you know, that used to be where my truck was parked. So I think I'm doing all right being here in Texas right now. It seems like it's crazy in the neighborhood. Good morning, Melissa. Thank you so much for the pointer from your sister, by the way. Karen got me that gift, and it's absolutely beautiful. Please give my regards to your sister. It's beautiful. All right, so let's do the 3 breaths, honoring the body, the mind, and then the spirit. So just join me if you'd like, in taking in a deep breath, and we're going to hold at the top of the breath. So just for a second to let that oxygen like hit our brain and our bloodstream. So inhale through the nose, deep into the belly, starting now. And let's thank the body for the vehicle that carries us through this plane, and release. Let's take a second deep breath for the mind. Inhale. And release, thanking the mind for the wonderful tool that it is, that helps us to solve whatever may be going on in our lives, both positive and negative. And one last breath in, deep into the belly. And release, and thanking the Spirit for being with us no matter what, wherever we are in our lives. Our Spirit is there to see us through and guide us if we're willing to listen to it. Okay. Welcome to Sunday, the 8th. Wow. Good morning, Ducky. All right, so let me get to doing these cards, just because I have to get out of here within half an hour. I need to get to church. So, I know, right? Who would have ever thought my heathen behind would be saying that? But let's shuffle the cards. Okay, Spirit. Show us the cards, the underpinning of the week, the energy of the collective, anybody that may be watching currently or later. What do they need to know? Please give us the cards that signify that, that best signify that. So I'm going to say the shuffle feels like clean, like crisp and clean. There's a little bit of resistance, not much though. Hopefully that's a good sign for us this week. It feels like things will get done in a timely manner. I don't know about you, Kelly. I can't guarantee your timely manners, because time and manners in Mexico are totally different than in the US. But it does feel like if we put our mind to it, it would direct our energy and our thought in a way that's very clean, which is what I'm feeling here. We will get accomplished quite a bit this week. Or at least we'll be feeling good as we're accomplishing whatever it is. Let me get more. Hi, Spirit. We'll do one more shuffle. So my cameras are not working. They're zoomed in. The rear camera is now zoomed in, so all you see is the bookshelf from across the room. It's really weird. So I am going to, let me just double check that one more time and make sure that it's still doing that. Yeah, it's way too zoomed in for me to do the pointer, and I can't figure out how to make it smaller. So we're just going to go back. You're going to have to look at my beautiful face this whole morning, and I will just hold the cards up today. It's just one of those days. Good, Heidi. Heidi says, for those of you that can't see, good morning, Kristen. Welcome to Sunday too. What Heidi's saying is she's holding some selenite to clean her energy. Atta girl, hold that selenite. All right, so let's do the first three cards. So the beginning of the week card is going to be starting today. The chat box is up on this side. That's the other thing with this OBS system. There used to be a chat box that used to pop up within the system. Now the chat box covers like half of my screen. So we have Devil's Play here, guys. This is Major Arcana. Again, big lessons here, big energy starting off this weekend, or ending off this weekend and heading into the week. This is about indulgence and having fun. I don't necessarily, this is associated with the Devil card, which is not a bad thing necessarily, but it is a thing where it's sort of like a warning. Be careful of overindulgence, be careful of over-aggression, over-aggravation. I would say be careful of manipulation, both on your part, of others, or others of you. This is very fitting for me, I can tell you that right now. I have somebody that I think I need to deal with that's in the midst of Devil's Play right now. So I will be dealing with that at some point in the next few days. So it's funny that this card shows up because I can certainly relate to this. But this card is about like enjoying oneself at a level. It can have like a sort of a carnal or debauch attitude about it, where maybe we have one too many cocktails or smoke, one too many puffs of a joint, whatever our vices are. This is about our vices. I don't necessarily see this as a bad card. In some ways, I feel like this is about allowing, food can be a vice, sex can be a vice, smoking, cigarette smoking, or binge TV watching and hiding out in the house can be a vice. This is being careful about how much we do that in the early part of this week, okay? This would be, I don't think that this necessarily says that we have to not do it. I think that what this says is we have to be aware of when, how, and why we're doing it. We also need to be aware of those around us. I look at the statue of the two friends, and this is more maybe for me personally, but it might be for some of you out there too, so I'm going to share this message. Some of our friends might be caught up in the Devil's Play, some people we may care about, some people that we might want to reach out and take care of, but we can't necessarily risk that because we might have too much going on. So be aware of that. I think that we are able to enjoy their company to a degree, have them around us to a degree, but we might have to be aware of whatever sort of detrimental behaviors they're running on themselves that could be adversely affecting us in the early part of this week. Now, I don't know why, but I feel like this is going on until Wednesday. And that might be just for me personally. That might be a message for me. But for those of you that might be dealing with another party or dealing with a situation that you don't feel as though you can quite control, I would say step back. I would say don't overindulge in that situation. If you're trying to get somebody to respond in a certain way, if you're trying to control somebody in a certain way, and I don't mean manipulate in a bad way, but if you are trying to manipulate them in any sort of way to get out of them the desire that you want, this card is saying don't do it. Like, be careful, be mindful. I mean, you can try and help, but don't get too caught up. Okay, because it's going to divert your attention. It's going to suck you in. The Devil is not necessarily a negative card all the time, unless we allow it to be. unless we allow ourselves to be sucked in. Does that make sense? So, and I like this deck because it calls it Devil's Play. It's not like straight up, the devil, ah! It's Devil's Play. It's like, are we going to partake? Are we going to, like, you know, get a little bit, get our feet wet? And then how wet do we get our feet? Do we get our whole body in? Do we submerge into that bullshit? Or do we just, like, step back and go, no, that's all yours. You can have it. Or we set our stuff aside, the stuff that's not serving us, okay? So that's the beginning part of the week. Excuse me. I'm going to just set it up here. So the next card for the midweek, ooh, interesting, Four of Cups, anger. So, for those of you that might be dealing with somebody or yourself and some issues that you may have going on, it looks like we might be having some feelings around that by midweek. Those feelings may not be so great. That's okay. I feel like this is the shattering or the breaking free of that anger. Let me use my pointer a little bit. This here all says to me that it's like breaking apart. There is a lot of red here, which signifies anger, frustration, red energy. But when I look at it, it feels like we're letting go of it on some level by midweek. Maybe whatever's going on in the Devil's Play card, whoever we might be frustrated with, or maybe we're frustrated with ourselves. Are we working through that anger by midweek? Are we really trying to explore those feelings, honor those feelings, and then maybe let them go, right? So we might find ourselves a little frustrated by midweek with ourselves or with another person. But I think that it's going to be productive. Sorry, I just brushed my teeth out of my mouth after the coffee. Not a magic combination. So I think that this says to me that by midweek we might be dealing with some emotions around said situation, whether it's ourselves or somebody else. But whatever this situation is with this Devil's Play at the beginning of the week, it has the potential to suck us in. It doesn't even have to be another party. It doesn't even have to be ourselves. It could be a situation. It could be a trigger. Like let's say like it's a situation at work that it's somebody we always deal with, or something that frustrates us, that sucks our attention into a place of frustration or anger. So we need to like be aware of that. That's what this card is telling us. This card is telling us to be on the lookout for that. Now again, like last week, we had some interesting cards going into the week that looked like it might have been a tougher week than it really actually was, and we shifted it and we got all of those major arcana cards because we are paying attention to where our attention is going and what our intentions are. So we can utilize this anger card as an opportunity to get in touch with our feelings, get in touch with our resentments, get in touch with our aggravations, and sort of let them go, feel them, and let them pass, okay? And I feel like that's what this card is saying to us by midweek. Now, let's see what the third card is. The third card, beautiful. Love it! So, we have the Hierophant. Again, Major Arcana. We're getting a lot of Major Arcana in September, guys. I mean, we're only 8 days in, but we've gotten, out of 8 days, we've had 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6. And we do 3 on Sundays, so I don't know how many cards it is because I can't do the math right now. But we've had quite a few Major Arcana just in the early part of September, so something's going on. And also from the tarot scopes that are up, there was a lot of like change happening for everybody, so this makes sense to me. The Hierophant is all about like learning, teaching, institutions, one's own spiritual knowledge, sort of owning that spiritual knowledge. I feel like this is us sort of not necessarily retreating from the world, but being a part of the world from a place of knowledge, from a better, more firmer, grounded, centered place of our own intuitive knowledge around a situation or ourselves. So this would be the culmination of what goes on in the first half of the week around this Devil's Play situation, around this trigger, around our emotions around this trigger with this anger card or this frustration card. How do we handle it? How do we let go of it? This to me says that we do it from a place of grace, that we do it from a place of knowledge, that we do it from a place of intuition, that we do it from a place of authority. I mean, if you look, I see this as always as the Hierophant here in the center. He's protected by this dome. Sometimes I see this card as sort of feeling like pulled away from the world, kind of almost like a hermit in a way, like the Hermit card. I don't feel like that is this for us this week. I feel like as I look at this card, it feels like we are a part of all of this down here. The poppy, the elephant, there's like all sorts of stuff going on down here, right? We're a part of it, but we're sort of like safely at arm's length, if that makes sense. We're not necessarily cutting ourselves off from situations, but we are sitting in our knowledge and our intuition around situations a bit smarter and a bit wiser, right? And able to teach maybe ourselves and maybe those around us through just being who we are or in our knowing, and others can learn from us. Okay, the Hierophant isn't necessarily like such a in-your-face card to me. I feel like he's this teacher, yes, and he bestows knowledge, but he only bestows knowledge upon those that are paying attention. Does that make sense? So I feel like we will be paying attention by week's end. We will have paid attention through the week. There will be some things emotionally that will come up that will sort of maybe force us to pay attention. But this card bodes like that we will pay attention in a very good and correct way, or a beneficial way, for us to stay in our knowing and to know ourselves a little bit deeper, a little bit better, to learn a bit about ourselves and to become stronger, more centered, and more grounded in whatever it is that we're doing. Okay, and that will be by week's end. Now, leading off with Devil's Play and ending with the Hierophant says to me we're going to have an interesting week. It almost feels like, as I look at these three cards, it feels like going from one side of the spectrum to the other. The Devil's Play card is more like active, outgoing, in your face, and I don't mean this in a bad way, it just is more woo woo woo, right? Like party, raucous, all of that. And that's okay. That's okay to feel that way, to be that way, be dealing with outside situations outside of our control. And like I said, by midweek, we might be feeling frustration, anger, helpless in those things if we give them too much of our attention, if we let them suck us in like the devil wants to do, right? He wants to sort of like pull us in on our triggers and go, ah, ha, ha, I gotcha. We're not going to let that happen, or at least the majority of us are not going to let that happen with this Hierophant ending up the week. Now we'll look at the cards as we go through this week and see if that changes. If it does, great. Hopefully it changes for the better. Maybe we don't even experience this anger card midweek. I don't know yet. We'll see. But if it doesn't, that's okay, because we're naturally heading towards this Hierophant card, which will be a space of knowledge and grounded in centeredness for us. We might have to go through a little bit to get there, but it's worth the journey, okay? So as I said, as I always say, it's all just energy. Those of you that, might be feeling it today or going through it, this Devil's Play might have hit you a little bit early, maybe even hit you last night. I bet you Ducky might have experienced a little bit of the Devil's Play at Angel's birthday last night. She might be feeling the repercussions of that this morning. We'll see. But that's okay. It's the Devil's Play, right? So we can play, we can have fun. We just need to be aware that at some point it maybe shifts out of fun and into aggravation and stress, time suck. That's attention pulling. Okay, so you guys, that is my weekly forecast. Sorry to be so quick about it, but I gotta run out and go get with God for a minute. I'm going to church because it's a wonderful community of people, and it is my way of, how do I want to say this, healing my relationship around organizational religion. Okay? I think that there's space in my life for that. So I don't necessarily believe in everything that the church teaches. I love this church that I go to, though, because they're very open, loving, and kind people and charitable. And it's a beautiful church. And so it's a beautiful community of people. And I go there to work on my relationship as a gay male with the God that I was raised most of my life, that told me I was hated by him. So I work on that in different ways, through going to therapy, that's in the years ago. And now I actually go to church to feel comfortable in that space, to have my own sort of grounded connection to that space. So now that I'm back in America, I'm trying to do that. And so these Sunday broadcasts I'm gonna make more of an effort to be up earlier so that they don't need to be so rushed. But it is important to me that A, I go spend time with these people because they're lovely, and B, I need my, I always need to be working on my relationship with the God of my understanding. Okay, so that's what I'm going to go do this Sunday. I'm available for private readings. I will hopefully get these camera things worked out so that we can get back to charms and doing some fun stuff. But I don't know, my cameras and OBS and everything is acting wonky. I will get us there though, guys. You just gotta be patient. I hope you guys are enjoying the unboxing videos. I've been putting those up. I plan on hopefully doing another one or maybe two today. And my goal is to have like one or two up a day just to get through these decks so that I can have access to all of them when I choose to use them when Spirit strikes me in different pick a cards. So, and I know the trilogy is coming up. The second part of the trilogy will come up this midweek. I'm really waiting for a certain deck to show up that's coming from, I think, far away. I'm hoping it shows up in time. I want it in group 2 for the trilogy. I may have a special pick a card also that comes up this week. We'll see. If I have time. I have a plan. I'm trying to meet it all. All right. So you guys have a group. Joanna Marie, it's not, she's saying, oh my God, I'm not lucky enough though. Thank you for sharing into the groups. I super appreciate it, Joanna. I need every share I can get. But this is, hey Crystal J, this is a morning forecast for everyone that tunes in. This is not personal readings. I think I explained that to you yesterday. I love that you're tuning back in, and please continue to tune in, but I'm not doing personal readings. I am on my way to church. It is Sunday. If you rewatch the video, there's a full 3-card spread reading that is general for the entire group, including yourself. You have just been read via 3 cards. I'm not paying attention to you. It's not about luck, my dear. It is about the fact that I need to reach a lot of people in a small amount of time and still get my butt to church. Okay? I love that you're tuning in. I appreciate each and every share. Please continue to do so. If you would like a personal reading, I'm available for those. You can contact my business page on Facebook. They're $50 for 1 hour over the phone or Facebook video. They're quite lovely. People enjoy them. There's a ton of insight. If you really want a reading, this is a business. So you can certainly contact me in that way, and I would be more than happy to give you a reading. And if not, the next time I'm doing free readings, I will let you know. But this is the morning forecast, okay? So I'm not avoiding you, I'm not ignoring you, I just don't watch the chat or else I'll get sidetracked. And I'm already running late. I got 15 minutes to get there. I love you guys. Have a great day. It's all just energy. Enjoy your Sunday. Know that this week will be transformative. If you get a bit emotional midweek, it's okay. Let it be, okay? Thank you for tuning in. Thank you for sharing. Please like, share, subscribe, do all the magical stuff that I need you guys to do. And have a magical day. All right. I love you. Bye.